Hi everyone, my name is piterpakulski. Today we will start a new financial model. This will be an auto-repairing financial model, business idea. So I'll be modeling this story from scratch, making some assumptions. As usual, this will be a series of videos from the beginning till the final overview of a financial model. If you like my videos, you may give us a like, subscribe, share these videos with your friends. You may order financial models from scratch. As usually, at the end of this model, at the end of the final overview of this model, I'll be giving you all the links on the process of creation of this model, like I did previously for all other financial models I presented on this channel. So we have an empty Microsoft Excel tab, and let's start modeling. First of all, let's a little bit prepare the Microsoft sheet for our modeling. Format cells, numbers. I will freeze the first column. So first of all, when we are talking about auto repair, we have some operations we have some services dealing with engine, gearbox, other stuff, wheels. We are changing wheels, we are repairing gearbox, repairing engine, and so on. So we have different types of services. Each of them will have its own pricing, costs of parts. Then it has its own, each service has its own duration. We'll be creating a time limitation system for the services to make us create the relevant sales plan, let's say so, to build the trust for our financial model. So this will be quite an interesting process. So first of all, let's talk about services. Services, this will be the first table of inputs. So service, so let's say we have service 1, 2, 3, let's say we have 30 services. Let's assume that. So here we can name all the services that we do. For example, change oil, change gearbox, change engine, I don't know, whatever. Paint the car or some other services. So here we're just naming all the services. These are the inputs, so we mark them with specific color which goes with all of our inputs. So this will be the color of inputs. Then we move to the price. But first of all, for example, we would like when we will create the financial model, when we see the simple and discounted payback period, we may want to create some scenarios with or without this or that service, and this will be very interesting for us to see. For example, what will be the payback period if we work, for example, without these services, or without these or these services. So we will create on, off, button for the services to switch them on and off to see the performance of the auto repair business with or without this or that service. So how it works, we will create on, statuses. So data, we will use data validation. Here we'll select list. For example, at first we will have ons in front of each service. Then we have to tell Microsoft Excel that if it is on, then we have 1, if we have off, it is 0, to make them include or exclude from calculations. So if this equals to this, then we put 1, otherwise 0. Then we are freezing this cell. So now we are moving to prices. Price. So let's use Arial. Price. So this will be the basic pricing. For example, $100 for this service. Let's assume that, for example, this will be the price for other services that we make. These are also the inputs, so we mark them with specific color, with blue. Then we will use coefficient to pricing. If we want to increase or decrease all prices for all services. So the basic value of this coefficient will be 100%. So all these coefficients we will need later on when we will build cash flow statement, when we will be able to see the financial efficiency, net present value, internal rate of return. We will start using all these coefficients without manual playing with these data, so this is quite convenient to have coefficients instead of manual playing with these data when you're trying to find out how stable your business idea is. What are the weak points, what are the strengths of your business idea. So these coefficients is a wise instrument to easily play with huge sets of data. So this is the price. Then we may have some specific price coefficient for this or that service. So the basic value will be 100%. And then we will have price final. So this will be on-off coefficient, basic price, specific coefficient for this service, and general coefficient for all pricing. So how it works? For example, we just want to switch off this service from calculations. 0. Or we just want to decrease the price of this service, for example, on 20%. So we just take 80% of this. So here we see the difference. Or we just want to see what will happen with simple and discounted payback period if we decrease all pricing by 30%. And for example, we can switch off these services because we suppose that we are too optimistic with these services, but in reality we won't do these kind of services. For example, so this instrument will be used many steps ahead, but we have to prepare the base for this scenario play right now. Then we start talking about duration. This will be measured in hours. For the further creation of time limitation system, in order to set up the right amount of services, we will add a new parameter, is timing. How much time it will take us to do this service, to, for example, to change the engine, to change the oil, or any other service. So for example, so we will use, for example, 0.3. So this will be let's do like this. Okay, so this is the duration of this or that services, or this or that service. This is the input, so we mark it with specific color. Then we will maybe we will also be able to use the coefficient for duration to pricing, coefficient to duration, so here will be local coefficient, so the basic value will be 100% as usual. This is also an input, so we mark it with blue. Then duration final value, this will be this coefficient multiplied on this value on local coefficient and global coefficient. So if we want to switch something off, here we have 0, or we want to, for example, double the time for all services. if we're not so experienced, for example. On then we have the percentages parts cost. So inside the services we have to buy parts to get the service done, and parts percent in price, part percent in price. So for example, this will be percentage. So for example, 12% will be the cost of parts inside the price. Then parts dollar in price. So we will take price final and multiply it on this value. These are the direct costs for the services that we do, and coefficient to parts expenses, so parts and price final. What we will do, we will use the parts. Oh no, we will just start. We'll have coefficient for parts. So all these will be needed many steps ahead when the model will be done, and you or your investor or your business partners or you all together will be playing with these coefficients. And believe me, you won't play. You will play with manual data, but first of all you will start playing with these global coefficients, then you will move to these coefficients, and then finally you will move to numbers. So now numbers will be the third step of playing with coefficients. First of all, you will start playing with big coefficients, with big picture, to get the big picture of your business idea efficiency. So coefficient for parts and parts dollar final. So what we will do, this, multiply this, multiply this, multiply this. So if we want to increase, for example, the price of parts inside these servers, for example, twice, we can do it here, or we can increase the price of parts, for example, on 30% for all services. We can see how this affects this data, or we can switch off. We can see zeros here, we can see zeros here, and we can see zeros here in price, duration, and direct costs. So this is the beginning. So the next step will be creating the schedule. We will be creating the portrait of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just to create the relevant revenue generating algorithm that you will trust. So and at the end you will get the revenues, you will get the credible direct expenses that will make you feel comfortable, confident with your assumptions, and you can always get back to inputs and create new services and so on. So this will be the topic of the next video. So if you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe our channel, share this video with your friends. Also, you can order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. So see you guys in next videos. Thank you and bye.